In the winter of 2025, nearly 2 decades after a young woman simply vanished, the investigation into Jennifer Kessie's disappearance reached a new, vital turning point. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement, FDLE, formally declared that her case was no longer cold, a shift that rekindled hope for her family and the community. What changed? The announcement revealed that previously untested DNA evidence had been found and submitted for advanced analysis, and that the list of persons of interest had been dramatically narrowed. Her father, Drew Kessie, shared that this was the first time he felt the investigation might finally break through. Technology had arrived as an ally. AI-driven reviews of thousands of pages of case files, fresh forensic testing, and renewed focus on video evidence once dismissed as indecipherable. 20 years earlier, investigators faced blurry footage, poor lighting, and a fence obscuring a key figure in the car parking video. Now, with tools unavailable in 2006, every frame and every trace carried renewed weight. In that moment, Jennifer's name shifted from past cautionary tale to active search. Her story became a testament to persistence, not just by the professionals, but by her father, mother, friends, and all who still ask, "Where is Jen?" The promise now is clear. New evidence may soon answer old questions. The larger message: no case is hopeless when determination meets innovation. On Monday, January 23rd, 2006, Jennifer Kessie seemed to be living the American dream version of her life. She had graduated from the University of Central Florida with a finance degree in 2003, moved into a condominium in Orlando, worked as a finance manager, and held a long-distance relationship she believed in. A weekend trip to St. Croix with her boyfriend had just ended. She returned Sunday evening, looked forward to her future. The next morning, everything changed. Tuesday, January 24th, Jennifer did not show up for work. It was striking because she always did. Her morning phone call to her boyfriend never came. Her parents, alerted by her employer in the silence, began a 2-hour drive from Tampa to Orlando. When they arrived at her condo, the scene looked, at first glance, like she had simply walked out for work. The shower was recently used, her clothes were laid out, her bed strewn as if she'd left in a hurry. Yet, her keys, purse, phone, briefcase were gone. No sign of a struggle, no forced entry. It was a kind of disappearance that defied the logic of crime scenes. A woman in her own home, prepared for work, gone. Investigators initially considered she may have left on her own, until the evidence would force a different conclusion. The fact that ordinary became extraordinary in those moments is what haunts the case. Jennifer's normal morning became a timestamp that marked the disappearance of a life. 2 days after Jennifer vanished, on January 26, 2006, her black 2004 Chevy Malibu was discovered abandoned about a mile from her condo, in the parking lot of a neighboring apartment complex, the Huntington on the Green. What made this discovery significant was that hidden security cameras captured a person of interest parking the vehicle and then walking away. But the footage told only half a story. The individual's face was obscured by a fence. The camera recorded images every few seconds. The resolution poor. Even the size estimate, somewhere between 5'3" and 5'5", was derived after Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, was called in. Despite the flaws, the video became the cornerstone of the narrative. Somebody else drove Jennifer's car. The values, keys, purse, phone left inside suggested robbery was not the motive. A search dog traced the scent from the car back to Jennifer's condo complex, hinting the abductor may have returned. Investigators concluded that the vehicle had been cleaned, meaning whoever did this was careful. The question remains, who knew Jennifer's routine so well and had access to her world, to her parking area, to her building? In those frames of grainy video lived both the answer and the frustration. For years, the case rested on the gap between the recorded moment and the unknown motion that followed. That gap remains today, but today it also carries fresh hope thanks to new technology. The footage hasn't changed, but our capacity to analyze it has. As weeks turned into years, Jennifer's family transformed from shocked loved ones into unrelenting advocates. Her parents, Drew and Joyce Kessie, refused passive despair. They sued the Orlando Police Department, OPD, in 2018 for access to case files, settling in 2019, and receiving over 16,000 pages of documents. Then in December 2022, FDLE's cold case unit took over full investigation authority, signaling a shift in momentum. But the path was far from linear. Investigators followed leads through construction workers in Jennifer's condo complex, many of whom were non-English speaking and difficult to track. The building had recently undergone major expansion, and Jennifer had reported feeling harassed by workers. They interviewed coworkers, friends, bosses. They ran DNA from the car, chased tips, called in NASA to enhance a video. Still, weeks became months, months turned to years. Holidays passed, anniversaries arrived. The emotional toll was vast. Every January 24th, the family stands again in the shadow of absence. Every reward offered, every podcast aired, every headline sparked a flicker of hope. Through this, Jennifer's name has not faded. She has become not only the young woman who vanished, but a symbol of tenacity of the cost of missing person cases, and of a family's refusal to close the book on their child. And yet, the statistics are stark. No arrest made, no body found, the case unresolved. But because of that, the investigation remains alive. Jennifer's story continues in the minds of many, which is no small achievement in a world where cases grow cold and faces fade from memory. In 2025, the tide is shifting for Jennifer's case. The FDLE has announced that new DNA found within existing evidence is being processed under expanded marker sets. The pool of persons of interest has been whittled down. AI tools are being used to analyze digitized case files and video, looking for patterns humans may have missed. Jennifer's father has stated that they believe now they have a better chance of resolution than at any time before. But this is more than a forensic reset. It is a tribute to a young woman whose voice went silent, to parents who have not stopped asking why, to friends who still hold a memory of her laugh. It is also a message to the missing persons community. No matter how long the wait, the search is worth it. The reward is not just closure. It's the possibility of truth, accountability, and return. For viewers, if you remember one name this evening, let it be Jennifer Kessie. If you hold one question, where is she? The next call you make, the next detail you recall, could be the one that breaks the case open. Because technology has advanced. Because her family has refused to surrender. Because justice requires no expiration date. In honoring her disappearance, we renew a promise that she will not be forgotten. And one day, we hope to say, her story did not end in that January morning. It ended when the answers arrived. Until then, the world watches, remembers, and hopes